Good morning, my name is Lucy and today I'll be presenting a fascinating case analysis and answers to questions for Whole Foods Market. These are the subjects we're going to be covering today, and we'll begin with strategies. The chief elements of strategy that Whole Foods Market is pursuing is growth, location, product, pricing, and merchandising. We'll get started with the growth. The strategy from Whole Foods Market since going public in '91 was to go ahead and use a combo of opening new stores and acquiring already existing stores. The breakdown of kind of what that looks like, from '92 to 2001, Whole Foods opened about 7 small chains. In 2002, they decided to drive growth by opening 10 to 15 stores a year with a lot bigger square footage, and that put them in closer competition with Kroger, Safeway, and Publix. In 2007 began a little bit of a hairy situation and legal battles when it decided it wanted to open or acquire Wild Oats markets, and the original plan was to open 109. Long story short, they only opened 51 of those stores, and then from then on, it kind of taught them a lesson. They indicated that after that whole debacle that they would only be opening new stores rather than trying to acquire new ones. 2013 brought 8 new stores. 2014 they acquired 4 new stores. And at this point in time, all stores are averaging about 38,000 square feet. And just for reference, the store in Lincoln, Nebraska is roughly 33,000 square feet. Moving on to store location strategy, because it really takes about $12 million to open just one single store, Whole Foods had developed its own internal strategy that would analyze potential markets based on education levels, population density, and income within certain areas. Most stores are in high-traffic shopping locations, or sometimes they're in strip centers. Because of the economic slowdown that started in 2007 and the recession that lasted until about 2009, they actually had to do a major overhaul of how the stores expanded. At this point in time, because of the recession, they had to terminate 18 stores and downsize several others. Once they decided that they needed to lower the square footage from 35,000 to 50,000 square feet, it helped by dropping the cost down to $2 million per store in 2012 and 2013. By 2014, the effects of the recession had worn off and Whole Foods was back to opening with roughly 40,000 square feet. And Whole Foods would have about 400 stores open in 2014 and plan to hit the 500 store mark in 2017. Moving along to their product line strategy. Most of the variety of the products would range depending on the square footage of the store. Some would be about 10,000 items in smaller stores and 50,000 items in larger stores, averaging out to be about 21,000 items per store. Whole Foods product line consisted of natural, organic, and gourmet foods and other non-food items in the following categories: fresh produce, meat and poultry, fresh seafood, bakery goods, prepared foods, specialty foods, frozen goods, dried foods, beer and wine, coffee and teas, and several others. Management really strongly believed that the company's emphasis on fresh fruits, veggies, bakery goods, meats, seafood, and other perishable items are really what differentiated Whole Foods from other supermarkets. Moving on to their pricing strategy, Whole Foods' strategy was to sell the highest quality products that it could find at the most competitive prices possible. Most of the company's private label products were value priced, although prices at Whole Foods normally higher than conventional supermarkets. The reasoning for this is because other costs of growing, distributing, and marketing organic products was actually 10 to 40% higher than costs for non-organic, but also because Whole Foods' strategy was to carry the best quality products they could find. This is not cheap. The media and some critics have actually coined Whole Foods as Whole Paycheck. Despite this awful pet name, the loyal customer base that they do have keeps growing, and sales revenues at Whole Foods has grown at a compound average of 25% over the last 22 years. This can be attributed to a couple different factors, but mainly because people are willing to pay for better food if they believe it will make them healthier, especially as they get older, and I can attest to that theory. They instituted several deals with suppliers that enabled them to provide better values for customers without sacrificing their gross margins. The use of aisle displays that would say hot deals and everyday low price and comparison shopping strongly encouraged for promotion. Stores began featuring family-sized prepared food selections for $17.99. These new inputs were effective and sales grew 3.5% in 2010. Looking at the merchandising strategy, which could be the most important part for the company, layouts of each store were customized to fit the particular site and the best show off the particular product mix chosen for that store's target client. The driving concept of Whole Foods' merchandising strategy was to create an inviting and interactive store atmosphere that turned shopping for food from a chore into a fun and pleasurable experience. Most stores feature hand-stacked produce, appealing displays of fresh seafood and meat, open kitchens, and teams of in-store chefs. A great stat here is Whole Foods stores in 2014 averaged $983 per square foot, which is about double the square foot price of other leading supermarkets. One of the questions that I was asked to provide is Whole Foods strategy well matched with other market conditions? And I would say absolutely. I believe that Whole Foods has a winning and sustainable competitive edge over its rivals with a focused differentiation strategy. I say this because Whole Foods is focused on organic and natural foods, which I believe are limited in demand when looking at the big picture of traditional grocery business in America. No other natural food industry or store comes close. Do you think that John Mackey has a good strategic vision for Whole Foods? Why or why not? I believe that John Mackey has an awesome strategic vision for Whole Foods. Besides his strengths and strategies in growth, location, pricing, and marketing, he really has gone above and beyond with his core values, store operations, and working environments. Team members get great benefit packages, discounts on purchases, paid time off, and are encouraged to actively contribute ideas of benefits that they would like to see added. When you do outside research, you can really see that John Mackey's passion shines through his work. Since the 1970s, when Mackey had his food consciousness awakening, working for a co-op, he found his calling. The reason I love the company mission statement so much is because the company cares so much about the health of people and sustainability of the environment. I truly believe the best companies are the ones who really care about our world as a whole. Do Whole Foods Market's core values really matter? I think absolutely. The Whole Foods Market core values really do truly matter. I believe that they're real because the company's actions speak louder than their words, and they practice what they preach. The fact that the company has grown so much and continues to grow based on these values. When looking at the history in an interview by NPR with John Mackey, he openly speaks about how he went to do his own homework regarding the ethical treatment of animals. He was challenged by a young woman who was once protesting his company at one point. This shows to me that he's an open-minded individual who cares about improving himself and his company. Something that really sticks out to me is incredibly meaningful is the statement about quality. They say, "We are buying agents for our customer and not the selling agents for the manufacturers." Whole Foods literally has a team that travels to find the best source food and simply will not bring it into the Whole Foods stores if it doesn't meet all requirements. Whole Foods has also been recognized by Forbes several times and has made the list for 100 best corporate citizens for its sustainability and conscious vision and made the list for best employer for women. Based on the financial data statement, how would I assess the company's data since 2009? I would say that the sales have went up at least $1 million each year, but so did the cost of goods and expenses. But you could definitely see a steady increase in performance each year. Here are the stats for each year. As you can see, going up at least $1 million in sales each year. Again, and so did the cost of goods and expenses. And from here, we really break it down to show you the percent of revenues available to cover operating expenses that yield a profit each year. And they go up slowly but steadily each year. And how is Whole Foods performing from a strategic perspective? You can clearly see that Whole Foods is larger than the Fresh Market, Trader Joe's, Sprouts Farmers Market. The square footage advantage that Whole Foods has over its competitors is important to note because they will be able to accommodate larger inventories and variety of product for the consumer. Whole Foods has more stores than all three of these competitors, showing a larger presence that definitely helps with sales. Whole Foods most definitely has a winning strategy. The company's resources and capabilities are competitively superior over their market rivals, providing they have a sustainable competitive advantage. Really, the only recommendations that I have, because I absolutely love this company, is to maybe reverse the cost perception issue by creating more value conversations within marketing. I would say one of the biggest reasons that consumers do not shop there is due to a perceived cost issue. I think that Whole Foods is on the right track with creating value-sized family meals at $17.99, but it needs to be advertised as so. I would even consider myself a very health-conscious citizen, and I'm willing to pay more for money, better food, but I have actually never heard of this promotion. I also believe that education is the key. Continuing education for the consumer about the effects of better food choices and educating them about the value they're receiving through the Whole Foods market is going to be key for future sales. Thank you for listening to my presentation today. I have a final slide that has all my resources available. Please contact me if you have any questions. Thank you.